Hey, this is Eric with Eric's Barbecue and More, and today we're getting back to barbecue, finally. It's been several videos, I know, and we are going to be cooking in 4K with a mic on the Old Country Pecos. We're cooking some smoked meatloaf. This ain't your mom's meatloaf, so stay tuned. I guess that'll work. Alright, so as you can see, we are recovering from an ice storm that hit here. So what's the first thing a caveman needs? Fire. We cook with fire. So one thing a caveman didn't have was phone books, which I still get, by the way. And they're great for starting fires. Another thing a caveman didn't have is charcoal. I use charcoal as a base just to get a nice coal base going. So first step, get the kindling into this little thing. And I'm gonna have trouble with wind today. I can already tell that. And for charcoal, it's Kingsford. Not a sponsor. None of my stuff's sponsored. Now this is not my primary source of fuel. My primary source of fuel is wood. This is just a coal base to get the wood started. I won't throw any more charcoal on this fire. This is the only bit. We're going to get that fire going, and then we're going to get it on the smoker. Alright, so for some of you new to the channel, these are my tools. So this is the ThermoWorks smoke, and it is my internal temperature for the meat, which is right here, and smoke chamber temperature probe. Plugs into here. This is cordless. Can be pretty much anywhere on my property and it'll pick up the readings, and that's how I monitor my smoker. This is my thermo pin from ThermoWorks as well. None of this is a sponsor, by the way, but these are just some really great tools. They're expensive, but they do go on sale, and I highly recommend them if you have an offset. Actually, if you have any kind of smoker, but especially on an offset, so you can monitor those temps and make sure you're running your smoker the way that you plan to, and you can get ahead of the game as far as adding wood to bring the temperatures up and adjusting things. Another thing, this is always wide open for me. I find it best to leave that wide open and to adjust the vent here to control my temps. It's also a good way to control my fire. I always want to have and maintain a flame in my firebox. What that'll do is produce blue smoke, which is clean smoke, which is what you want. You don't want bright, white, dirty smoke for very long. It's one of those things you can spend a lot of time going over and obsessing about dirty or clean smoke. At the end of the day, a little bit of dirty smoke is not going to hurt you for a long cook. And just try to run a clean fire, but don't stress about it. This is a nice relaxing time, not a stress time. Alright, so our coals are done. So now we got a nice coal bed. And this is some good old cherry wood. I primarily cook with cherry wood, and I have for the past 5 years or so. So we're just going to throw a whole log in there. And this is good seasoned cherry wood, so it'll start to flame up pretty quickly. There we go. So now we'll come back when we get the pit up to temp. Just really quickly. This is the ThermalWorks smoke. Got my internal temp probe right there. And that's the pit temp probe. And the other probe is going to be for the meat internal temperature. I don't always use that, but I will in this one. Now we got a good fire going. Start shutting some things down. Start getting that. Right now this fire is coming straight out. So close this. It'll start to channel it that way. You'll see a little bit coming out of the end here at the vent. We'll close that door. That'll help draw the fire into the cook chamber. 100% open. Prevailing wind is coming in this direction today, so we're going to keep the orientation like this. Sometimes that wind will change and go the other direction, and depending on how long that change happens, I'll turn the pit around and have the vent downwind of whatever direction the wind's going. So prevailing wind's going this way. We want the wind to hit this side and work the smoke into the cook chamber. So we'll come back when we're up to temp, which we're going to be running this pit anywhere from 275 to 300 to 350. Let's be honest. If you have a pellet smoker and you can just dial in your temperature, I would dial it to 275. If you run around 275, this cook will take about 3 hours. Mine vary depending on wind, which today it's pretty windy, so keeping control of the fire could be a challenge. Alright, so our pit is up to temp. These are my meatloafs. I'm going to show you a quick clip of how I make my loaves. You can use any recipe you want. Just make sure that you use at least an 80-20 on your meat, your beef. 80-20, you want that good fat. All right. So, we're gonna take our nice meatloafs. Try to keep them about the same size each. And the only reason you want to do that is to promote them being done at the same time. There's heat in different areas around here, so it's impossible to totally predict that. But that's what you want. I'm going to go ahead and put an internal temp probe in one of them just so it can help monitor. But we'll come back in an hour, see how we're doing. Alright, so as you can see, our pit temp's 260. struggling a little bit. There's quite a bit of wind here. When I look in there, there's plenty of good flame, but I think my wind situation. So I'm gonna get this sucker. Okay. So put a little wind block there and see if that'll help increase our temps. So the wind's blowing pretty good right now. 264. Should update, yeah, 266. So it's going up. So that helped a lot. All right, we're still not maintaining, so I went ahead and put another split in there, and now we got a really good fire. So we'll still keep this open, but that should get the temps up to where I can start choking it down. Yeah, see, now we're hitting 270, 271, 272. I'm not sure what's going on with my internal temp probe, but it might have gone bad. This thing's about 5 years old, and those probes do go bad. This one's lasted longer than any other I've ever had. I had the Maverick before, and I'm gonna have to, when I open this thing up, I'll have to see if I wiggle the wire, if it'll connect again. But that's all right. We don't really need it. All right, so we are an hour in. So temps have been running around 290, 300, 315. Gonna use our thermopin. See, we're far from it. 87, 85. So we got plenty of time left. Hoping to get this probe to work. It's a real shame. Sorry about the beeps. Oh, now it's working. Probe is working. I'm going to check our fire now. So after an hour, the flame's kind of gone out. Got a nice coal bed in there. I'm going to go ahead and throw a split in. And just so in case you didn't see the probe, the internal temp on the meat was right at about 90 degrees. We want to get to 160. All right, we're going to throw I like to keep my splits up here on the firebox. Kind of helps warm them up. They tend to catch quicker when you do that, and you don't get a lot of dirty smoke. That caught instantly. Hot. All right, so we're gonna keep cooking, maintain a hot fire, and get this sucker done. It is Super Bowl Sunday. It's Super Bowl Sunday, so I've got people coming. Well, they should start arriving about now. And idea is we want to get cooking here. Stop beeping. We want to get. We want to be eating here in about an hour from now. We'll see how that goes. This is barbecue. There's no, it'll be done at this exact time. When's that going to be done? We don't know. We're just creatures cooking outside. We don't have exact science here. We can give you an approximate, but if the sides are cold, who cares? As long as the main is good, it's all that matters. All right, so it's been about 30 minutes, and ooh, yeah, oh, looking good. $120, $130. Sorry about that, I keep forgetting to mute that. Temperature probe. Temperature probe's all over the place. I'm at 120. It's looking good. I've got a half hour to go, so I want to make sure this thing, it tells me that it was below temp, and then it tells me that the probe isn't working, so I had to silence it twice. Anyway, I think I'm gonna let it go the way it is. I was sitting at like 275. I'm gonna let that roll just so that I can try to finish this around the time I was hoping for, which was 5:30. And right now it's 5 o'clock on the button, so 30 more minutes. My temps were 120, so 30 degrees, or no, 40 degrees in 30 minutes. The one on the back is a little bit more done than the one on the front by about 5 degrees, which is typical on this kind of smoker, so that's okay. But anyway, let's keep rolling. We'll leave the fire where it's at. Give it a look here. Stoke it just a bit, but it looks good. We got a nice coal base. I'm afraid if I stick a split in there, it's going to get up over 300 again, and I'm trying to nurse this along a little bit. So it's all about timing and patience and blah blah blah. If in 15 minutes it hasn't gotten like halfway there between the temperature it is now, so let's say if we're looking at 140 in about 15 minutes, that should be right on track to get done when we want it to. So all right, so our internal is 128. We're at 248 cooking temp, pit temp, internals. So I'm gonna throw a log on the fire. Look how fast that catches. There we go. That should get her up to about 300 again, 315. As you can see, got zero smoke, good clean burn. There we go, that's nice. All right. Temp's coming back up. See how this goes. All right, it's after 5:30. We're at 143, 266. So my fire isn't cranking up like I wanted it to. Let's see if we can adjust some things. Yeah, we got a little smolder going. Threw another split in a little while ago off camera. All right, that's doing good. So we're just gonna crank it up and get her done. All right, I am losing daylight, so we are at 156 IT. Oh yeah, those are looking good. Let me get you in here tight. Look at that. Those look good. We're gonna put a little barbecue on some Sweet Baby Ray's on one of them and ketchup on the other. Who's a fan of barbecue versus ketchup on your meatloaf? I kind of like the barbecue. My wife, big ketchup fan on meatloaf. All right, we'll let that sit. All right, we are done. Oh yeah. Deliciousness. I know it's a little dark. My apologies, I don't have a light. Pull out our internal meat temperature probe. The barbecue one, and that's the ketchup one. Looks good. Alright, we're just going to slice in here. Let's get that money shot. There you go. Alright, let's give this a taste. Get a good nice close up. This is Eric with Eric's Barbecue and More. Y'all have a good day. Man, that's good. That ain't your mom's meatloaf. Make smoked meatloaf. Do yourself a favor.